Hi everyone, today I'll be interviewing Dr. Ricky Brar. Dr. Ricky Brar is a functional medicine practitioner with the Living Proof Institute. His role is to empower you with the knowledge and motivation to achieve your health goals. He is passionate about helping you regain your health and get to the root cause of your issues, regardless of your diagnosis. He's a clinician and mentor and coaches other doctors on clinical protocols and functional lab interpretations. His functional medicine journey started as a patient. After working with several practitioners, he got to the bottom of his energy and digestive issues using functional medicine and has not looked back. Now he hopes to help others recover from their health challenges effectively and efficiently. Dr. Brar believes his personal experience as a patient will aid him as a practitioner in creating a lasting therapeutic partnership with new patients because he recognizes the physical, emotional, and financial stress that can be caused by poor health. Dr. Ricky, thanks for joining me today for our webinar. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you so much for having me, George. I'm really excited for this.
As am I, my friend. I've got a lot of questions I'd like to cover today on your chapter contribution to our project. And a note to our listeners, if you haven't had a chance to read Dr. Ricky's chapter, Listen to Your Gut, a functional medicine approach to digestive health, I highly recommend you do so. There's lots of fantastic information in it that will be expanded on in today's webinar. Okay, so Ricky, let's get going with the questions if you're ready.
Oh yeah, I'm ready and I'm excited to talk about this. And yeah, I would definitely encourage all our readers to check out the chapter, and this would be a great adjunct to that chapter.
Perfect. Okay, I'd say the first one is very important. Well, actually, they all are, but let's start with this one. Why is digestion so important?
So digestion is the root of all health, and I've experienced this in my own journey. I've seen it with countless patients, but there's that age-old saying that you are what you eat, and it's only partially true. Yes, you are what you eat, but it's what you eat and absorb. And a lot of the time today, we're not absorbing our food like we used to. We have so many toxins, so many additives, so many factors that kind of screw with our gut bacteria. They don't allow our gut bacteria to extract nutrition, and those initial nutrient deficiencies lead to a cascade of symptoms down the line. And the other thing is, what was once considered abnormal, we've kind of just grown accustomed to calling it normal. So burping after a meal, that's considered normal. Having a little bit of gas after a meal, that's considered normal. And while it's common, it's not entirely normal for everyone. Some processes are, but we have really just normalized our symptoms, and we don't act on any type of digestive issue until it's full blown, until you're diagnosed with something essentially. So digestion is the root of all health, and it starts when you're a baby. So literally from the second you're born, your gut is sterile. You get inoculated with actually your mother's bacteria and her own ecosystem, and that becomes your immune system. And then from there, everything you eat from a young age all the way into adulthood, it's just a cascade that just keeps going and going and going. And from there, we build ourselves. So everything we eat eventually becomes us. So digestion is absolutely critical to optimal health. No matter what a patient comes to me with, we always look at their digestion. Even if they don't have overt digestive symptoms, we'll find certain things in their digestive system that are off and need to be rebalanced.
I see. And why is it even more important to have great digestion as we age?
Now, as we age, certain processes happen, and the vast majority of individuals over 60 will actually have one or more digestive symptoms every 3 months. So these are the ones that are reported. A lot of them are just considered normal. As we age, a couple of things happen. So naturally, the amount of stomach acid we make will decline, and there's a few factors for that. The number one reason seems to be that as we age, just statistics tell us that most people are placed on a medication. Now, certain medications will actually limit the amount of stomach acid you make as a side effect. The second thing is we cumulatively have been through so much stress. Stress itself will shut down certain enzymes and stomach acid. And then even the way we move our bodies, if you start developing issues down the line, you start developing any type of joint disorder, you become more sedentary, these things all impact our digestion. So as our digestion decreases as we age, and that's not for everyone, but it's the most common pattern we see, you'll start to become nutrient deficient. You'll start to not break down your proteins very well. You'll lose your muscle mass because you're not getting the building blocks to actually make muscle. You start to have energy issues. So these same proteins that you're not digesting actually go on to make your energy chemicals. So you're not going to feel very well from an energy perspective. Your brain health will suffer because certain amino acids go on to make your brain chemistry. So these are the things that make you feel good, make you feel motivated, give you drive. So it becomes a cascade, and that's the big point. It all starts in the gut, and then it just snowballs from there. So as we age, the more early we're able to prevent these issues, the better, because we can intervene when something's very minor. We could teach you how to live from a lifestyle perspective and how to avoid these common pitfalls. So it's very, very critical as we age to take a look at this. Even if you don't have any diagnosis or condition, optimize digestion at a young age. It'll pay off a million times over your lifetime.
You know, Ricky, I can definitely relate to a lot of this because I've had my phases where I'll just, just from lack of time and just having a busy lifestyle where I just be living off of junk food. And I noticed a huge difference, not just in my energy levels, but also, as you're saying, just brain function. I have I guess the term is brain fog. I just couldn't think clearly. And even after switching to, say, a healthier diet, get away from all the processed foods and things like that, I felt somewhat better. But I'm just thinking, okay, well, I've been eating healthy for, say, maybe a month or something like that, and I'm not feeling as well as I know I could be. So I didn't realize at the time that my digestion was not optimal, not what optimal is, but I know it can always be better. So lots of great information that you're sharing with us, and I know from personal experience it can always be improved on regardless of your age.
Yeah, definitely. And food can heal you. So don't get me wrong there. But most of us, we've been eating a poor diet for so long, or a certain process, we've taken lots of antibiotics. We've essentially created more permanent changes that they take a lot of work to actually undo. And that's why you could switch to a completely healthy diet. But unless you work at these foundational processes, the diet alone is simply, it's not fueling the fire anymore. So you still have to put out the fire. Now, let's say the food is able to put out the fire. You still have to rebuild the gut. You still have to undo everything that fire caused. So it's a
Right.
step-by-step process. So the starting point is always the diet. See what you're putting into your body. Most patients, especially older patients, if they ever go on a fast, if they're able to, eventually they might not feel so good. But after a day of a fast, their energy increases, their digestive system gets a break, they feel better. Most of the digestive symptoms temporarily alleviate.
Mm-hmm. Wow, it's pretty wild stuff. Uh, so, Ricky, why does the current medical approach to treating digestive issues miss the mark?
So the current medical approach, the issue there is that it's very symptom driven. So most of the time, if you go to your doctor with a digestive symptom, and there's a bunch of digestive systems, it's not just the same two or three, but there's ones that are more common. But let's talk about the common ones. The most common ones are constipation, heartburn, acid reflux, diarrhea, gas, bloating. These are the most common symptoms that we usually come across. And what patients are often told, even without any testing, is that they have something like irritable bowel syndrome, or you just have GERD, so you have gastroesophageal reflux disorder. So these issues, they're kind of just umbrella terms. A syndrome is only a collection of symptoms. It does not mean a diagnosis, and it could be for various reasons. So when we're symptom driven, we look for certain things that will alleviate that symptom. So one of the most commonly prescribed medications is a proton pump inhibitor. And most patients that I see in clinic over 60, they're usually on a proton pump inhibitor. So they one day experience stomach acid or any type of burning, and they're given Nexium or Tecta or something like this. Now, most of the time, stomach acid issues are actually from too little stomach acid. So when they take something like Nexium or Tecta and they try to suppress that stomach acid, guess what? The symptom goes away, but you didn't get to the root of the issue, because now it opens up a big cascade. Your stomach acid is essential for several reasons. It's actually how you break down protein. It's how you sterilize your food. So this is why 5 people can go to a restaurant, eat a meal that had gone bad, but only one of them gets food poisoning.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, they probably had good stomach acid. It also signals the rest of your digestive tract as to what enzymes to secrete. So it's very, very important in that sense. And it also sets up peristalsis, the way your intestines contract and move. So this is what initiates you clearing out waste and having healthy bowel movements. So I'll show you a slide with all the things that digestion can impact. So just switch to it here.
Mhm.